Hello, scholars. My name is Mrs. Javinar, and I am here in Sacramento, California. And I'm going to show you how to fill out your first column in your data chart, which is found on page 9 of your slide deck. So let's click back to page 8, where it has the procedures listed. The first step says to go to weatherspark.com. So you'll see in my second window, that's where I am right now. And so you should go ahead and type that in and get on the same page that I'm on. Moving on to step 2, it says type Sacramento into the city. So what I'm referring to here is this little box, white box that says find city or airport. You want to click on that and type in the word Sacramento, and you'll see that the first item that pops up is Sacramento, California, United States. Click on that. Step 3, scroll down to temperature. So I'm just going to scroll down where it says temperature. It's the second item on this web page. And in step 4, it says under the chart, click on March. You will be redirected to another page. So before I get redirected, let's go to March. And it says click on 21. So you'll see a number line at the top of your page. This actually represents dates. So you're going to click on 21. And what we're essentially doing is going to the data for March 21. All right, so I'm going to pause right here and make sure that you guys are all caught up before we go on to step 5. Step 5 says record average highest temperature in your chart. So what I need to do and what you will be doing is scrolling down for average temperature. And lucky us, it's the first chart that is on this page. So if you're familiar with charts, you'll see that you have a y-axis, that's our vertical axis. And from this point of origin, all the numbers going up will increase. And those represent your average temperatures. Then on the x-axis, which is the horizontal axis, you will find times. So this is going in increments of 3, starting at 12 a.m., 3, 6, 9, 12, and then that repeats for the afternoon, 3, 6, 9, all the way back to 12 a.m. So what I want to do is follow the trend line. So the trend line is this dark line right here. And since I'm looking for the average high temperature, I'm going to look for the highest point on this line. And that leads me to 3:30 p.m., 66 degrees Fahrenheit. When you hover your cursor over it, it actually confirms that this is the average temperature on March 21 in Sacramento. And since it is the highest point on this line, you're going to use this value for that first data point in your table. So I don't know if you caught that, but all I did was click on this little icon right here for text box. And I'm going to create a box right here. I'm a little picky about the font that I use. So once I create that box, I'm going to click on Gill Sans, which is our official Fortune text, Fortune font. And I want to make it big enough for myself to read from very far. So my eyesight's not that great, so I'm going to go to 21, size 21. And then I like using a different color than black. So I'm going to use blue, and that's so that I can see it really quickly. So average high temperature. I created that little text box, changed the formatting a bit. And if I refer back to this chart right here, it says 66. I'm going to go to insert special character, type in degree, and then find degree Fahrenheit. And you'll see that it actually inserted the degree symbol with an F next to it for me. And that's the first row. All right. Hopefully everybody caught that. I moved a little bit quickly through that last part, but you should type in 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, moving on to step 6. It says scroll down to rainfall. Record average high rainfall. So I'm going to scroll down to here, and I'm looking for rainfall. I did not see the phrase rainfall, but I did see another word that meteorologists use, and I'm wondering if you meteorologists at home actually caught it. So I'm going to scroll back up, trying to find that word. If you know what that word I'm looking for is, go ahead and say it out loud. Haven't gotten there yet. And if you said precipitation, you were right. So meteorologists use the word precipitation to refer to water that falls from the sky. So that could be rain and snow combined. So what I'm going to do is, let me see. I am going to find the highest average rainfall. So I'm going to skim through this here because it gives me a little bit more information. It says on average, there is a 23% chance that more than 0.04 inches of total precipitation will fall in Sacramento throughout the day on March 21, all of which can be expected to be rain. So this is chance of precipitation. So this is the best chart to use. I am going to write in, or I'm going to type in the percentage. So again, I'm looking for the average high. So I'm going to use this trend line and find the highest point. And according to this chart, the highest point is right here. And it looks like it's between 5 and 5.5%. Oh, duh. It actually says it. I was covering it. So it's 5.3%. So I'm going to go back to my chart. I'm just going to copy and paste this because it has all the formatting that I want. And I'm going to scroll down. Oops, that's not what I want. I want to put it in rainfall. I'm going to put 5.3%. All right. So that was the second part of this column that I needed to fill in. Let's move on to the third part. So that would be step 7. Step 7 says scroll to cloud cover, record highest average cloud cover. I saw that earlier, I think. Is that above me? Yes. Okay. So clouds, the average percentage of the sky covered by clouds in Sacramento on March 21 varies over the course of the day, the cloudiest time. So I believe that's the information that we're looking for. So scroll to cloud cover, record highest average cloud cover. So highest average, that would be the cloudiest time of day because it definitely would not be the clearest time of day. So I'm going to follow this, and it's, again, I'm looking for the highest point on this trend line. This looks like the lowest point. And it's a toss-up between this point and this point right here. So your guess is as good as mine, but I would lean towards the one that's actually labeled because they look about equal. So I would say 54% is the highest average cloud cover. So I'm going to go back to slide 9, copy So I'm using Command C, and then click on here, and then click Command V. So it automatically copied this for me. And according to my chart, the average high cloud cover was 54% on March 21. Cool. So now we are done with 3 out of the 4 boxes in column 1. The last piece of information we need to find is the average high wind speed. So again, scroll down. I saw that earlier. There we go, wind. And again, just like the other 3 charts, what we're looking for is the highest point in this graph. So if you follow this dark trend line, the highest point is found right here. It's labeled and it says 8.3 mph. mph stands for miles per hour. So what I'm going to do here is, again, click on it, Command C, Command V, because it has all the formatting I want. And I'm going to highlight and change that to 8.3 mph for miles per hour. And there you go. So you have all 4 of those boxes in column 1, which is March 21, filled out. What your task is going to be for the rest of this lesson is to fill in, just like we did for March 21, you're going to fill in the information for June 21, September 21, and December 21. And while you're filling it out, I want you to think about what happens in a typical year around March 21st, June 21st, September 21st, and December 21st. I want to give you a hint. There are 4 dates on there, and that corresponds to 4 different times in the year. So as you're doing that, keep that top of mind. And if you have any questions, make sure that you reach out to your teachers. They can be accessed through Dojo or Google Classroom. Good luck.